Nexxlegacy.
I want to welcome everybody that's listening worldwide to this edition of Brandon After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy. I am Brandon in the house tonight, having fun, playing music. Got a great guest returning to the Nexxlegacy family. Good guy in this business, and as you heard with this song right here, and he has a brand new song we're going to debut as well, Smoke a little later. This man, I've been following him since I became a fan a little while back when I interviewed him once upon a time, and just to be able to see him continue to push the line, elevate the what I feel personally, it doesn't matter where you're from. You know, if you're in Canada, if you're in the United States, if you're overseas, wherever the case may be, this man's music is timeless and is universal. It's for everybody to be able to join in together and just be a part of something that I feel like he's building, in my opinion, which is the right way. Because, you know, music and marketing always has its ups and downs, its highs and lows, its peaks and valleys. But when you have somebody with the talent that this guy has, and with the determination this guy has, and with the God-given talent this guy has, it's inevitable that we're going to be able to see continued success and elevation from this man. And it's brought to you by SeanJones.tv, which is his website. Go check it out. My Sean Jones on all social media networks: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Sean Jones is returned to Nexxlegacy Radio. Sir, what's up?
Hey man, how you doing? Thank you very much for having me.
Man, I am not only happy to have you back on these airwaves, but it's good to see you continuing to push your grind, man. How you doing?
You know what? I'm really, really good right now, man, for multiple reasons. But you know, we just finished another hugely successful season at my show at Casa Loma called Soul in the City. And for those of you that don't know, Casa Loma is a castle in the city of Toronto, like literally in the heart of the city. And in the beautiful gardens there, they have a glass pavilion. And basically we invite everyone who wants to come out to come and watch my 8-piece band perform. And we throw down classics, we throw down originals like you just heard, and we bring special guests. And we started out with 200 people 3 years ago, and now we've got, you know, almost 1,200 people coming out every Monday night to see this show. And we are bringing back R&B music. We are bringing back soul music. We are showing that there is a need for it in Toronto. There's a need for it in Canada, you know. And I'm very happy and I'm very proud of everyone that's been involved in it. And we're going to grow even more next year.
So when you say it started off as 200 and now it's swelled up to 1,200 and more, and it continues, was the reason for that just the word of mouth, or was it to the simple fact that everybody kind of, you know, not just talked about it being just a great show, but it just seems like it's a part of something that people want to be a part of now once they heard how well it was going the first time around?
Yeah, you know what? I think it was a lot of word of mouth. You know, when we started, like I said, we had to, you know, I called up all my friends and I said, hey, you know, please come on down. You know, I know my management called people, and the Nick DiDonato, who runs the castle, called his people, and we had 250, maybe 300 people there. But everybody that left there was like, this is absolutely magical. Like, it truly is a magical night. I mean, the performance that we put on, I'm very pleased with, I'm very proud of. But you're also listening to this performance and watching this performance in a castle, outside in the gardens of a castle, underneath a glass pavilion, underneath the stars. It's romantic, it's beautiful, it's magical. You know, you can't find a better show, at least not on a Monday night, than the one that we're giving you here. And so yeah, it took some time because there's so much stuff happening in Toronto. It truly is like, right. You know, it's like a New York City, but a smaller version. But there's so many shows happening here, so much going on every single day, that it took a while for it to finally burst open. But this year, we definitely we took it to a whole other level, and it's very exciting.
Well, that's good to hear, especially because when you set the scene and you talk about not just the ambiance of it, and as far as the location and the venue, but also the band and the fact that you are performing and you are doing these X amount of songs and things like that. Because I mean, you and I feel like we come from that era where bands are just as important, like if not even more so than it ever has, because you get a chance to not just hear your talent, but also you get a chance to see a lot of people performing as a band in the background.
Absolutely. Live music and live music is tough to come by. In this city especially, Toronto, they are shutting down live music venues almost, monthly now. It's gotten to the point where there's just not a lot of places to see live music anymore. And so it's very important that this is happening, that we're showcasing this and we're showing that there is a need for this. And hopefully, other places will open their doors and get more live music happening, not just on the R&B soul field, but on any field. I mean, people just need to hear live music, man. The artistry is so important.
And when you brought up the soul aspect of music and not just the R&B factor, but just the soul, to me, I feel like and you're right, it's like when you say bring it back, I'm talking about not just what you said, but bring it back to the forefront where it's always been there. You've always been around, as long as you've been doing music, but it's been around, but it needs to shine some light, I guess you could say, as opposed to just being kept in the dark. It was never like that, or it was like that, but then it went, we got some attention, but then it hit again. And to me, like, when you look at just the R&B soul and just the aspect as far as traveling with a band, doing shows with a band, all that stuff you and I appreciate it, and there's like hundreds of thousands and millions of people who appreciate it as well, but sometimes it gets taken for granted. So when you fast forward to just how things are nowadays and the fact that, we have to continue to push that fight to get to that forefront again, like what are some of the good things? And the good things is part of it, you're doing it right now every Monday night here, not only, selling through and, you're continuing to get the audience, but what about just some of the other highlights that you can get from the fact that people are starting to pay attention to R&B soul again?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things that Soul in the City does, this show, is that I actually give artists a stage to showcase their own skills, and sometimes it's established artists that people in Toronto definitely know, even worldwide. I mean, there's a lady named Jackie Richardson here who is incredible. I mean, she's an older artist, but she, like, when she sings, it comes from a different place. And so there's a lot of those artists, but I also get a chance to bring up other, like, younger artists who have never had a chance to actually showcase themselves in front of a crowd like this, in front of this many people. And I give them that kind of exposure. And, like I said, some of them are very soul-based. There's a wonderful lady, young lady named Neffy, who's more of an acoustic folk soul kind of artist, but unbelievable. There's Jordan Alexander, who I had up there, another incredible artist, and they're getting a chance to showcase. They're getting a chance to showcase themselves on this platform and just show once again to people that R&B soul is still alive, it's still happening, and this is the way that it should sound per se. And I don't want to take any digs at anything that's happening. Right now, it's a lot of it is electronic, a lot of it is programmed, blah 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 blah. And there's a place and time for that. I do enjoy that music too. If I'm headed to a club, hey man, I love to dance to that stuff too. But we can't forget about where all of this came from, and that is from live instrumentation and people playing, people studying for their entire lives to learn how to play that guitar, to learn how to play that piano, to those chords that forget about all of that. And I feel like there's so much of this other stuff that is out there that people are starting to get tired of it. I really do believe that, and they're yearning for something real. And so hopefully I'm giving them that and making them enthusiastic about that. And, you know, hopefully I'm inspiring some other artists to be like, oh my God, you know, this isn't dead. There's still an audience for this. I'm going to keep on pushing the same way Sean is pushing.
Well, they're going to continue to yearn for your musical talents and just you being able to grace the stage and perform at a high level. And I haven't seen you perform live, but everything I've seen, either video and from word of mouth, is, you know what, I need to take a trip out to Canada and see this man perform, or get a ton of people to come out and promote this band to come to the California Bay Area or beyond to be able to see this man do it at a high level. And what you said earlier about, you know, letting others touch your stage, meaning letting some of the younger and established folks go on stage with you, is a testament to what I feel is the legacy you're trying to continue on, because, you know what, other people used to do that. Somebody used to go on stage and do that for somebody else, and somebody else helped them out and got their feet wet, I guess you could say. And you know what, at the end of the day, Sean, people don't forget when you did them a solid. And what I'm saying by that, I'm talking about literally saying, hey, you know what, it's not all about me. It's about you too, if you continue to push your talents, right?
Yeah, man. It's about us, you know. And I mean, you know, we handpick, you know, who it is that we want on that stage. I go through a whole bunch of people. I'm on Google. I'm checking out people are sending me, you know, folks that they think would be right for this. Because I mean, the show still has to be amazing, you know, and so there's a certain level that you've got to be at. And
right.
Yeah, it's just such a wonderful, wonderful thing, and they help the show. You know, all of the artists that have come on the show have helped elevate this thing as well. You know, people are not only seeing me on stage, but they're also seeing these other young artists do 2 songs and blow up the stage as well. And it's just this unbelievable dynamic, explosive dynamic that happens. And I do duets with some of the artists too, which is really, really fun to do. And it's just an amazing, amazing time. Like I said, the dynamic's great and the crowd loves it. And that's what's most important. And if we can keep the crowd going and keep the crowd excited, then there's room for all of us. There's room for all of us to grow and make money and succeed. Like I don't feel like I need to try and hoard this thing for myself. I just feel like there's an opportunity here to really create a movement, really create a movement, because I'm really, from time, you know, from back in the day when I was with my old group, in essence, you know, I really felt like the powers that be, some of them, really feel like this is just a country that likes rock or country, and that, you know, nothing else can survive here. But it's not true. It's just not true.
I think we're all put in the position, especially if you're a fan of music, not just you actually doing the performing and, you know, giving us what I feel like, you know, every time that you perform, you sacrifice a little bit of yourself because you give yourself personally to the masses. And not only do you do that, it's like I feel like, you know, a lot of people, you know, in a sense, feel like that it has to be just only one door that you can go through in order for you to succeed when it comes to this entertainment thing, and it's not. Because you can be able to open up so many different doors for so many different people with so many different styles and do it in a different way where it's creative. And I think what you do, Sean, is you don't sound like, you know, somebody else. You sound like you. And I think I became a fan because, I mean, not just the dope voice, but the mannerisms and just the passion that you feel and that you have for your craft is what wins people over. And creativity is still important to this industry, right?
Yes, well, you would hope so. You would hope so, but you know, there's I'm telling you, there's there is a lot of like I said, I don't want to focus on the negative, but there's a lot of the same thing. Once one person makes one thing hot, it's like there's like 5 or 6 or 7 other artists that are going to do the exact same thing. And it might not even be something that they want to do. It might be something that the record label or whoever else is telling them, this, you need to jump on this now. And so then they come out with that. And so then there's like 7 or 8 of the exact same thing. Stuff on the radio that all sounds the same. Like it's not good. It's not good at all. But I don't know. You got to just believe that that true talent, good songwriting, good musicianship still wins. And if you can keep that, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to say, not only is that important, like you keep that talent, but also you get us as fan base and as media folks to not just literally just like, again, put that one door up and say, hey, this is the only media lane you can go in. You can just go through here, and this is what we do. And no, you have to, as media folks, we have to be able to open up. And as a fan base too, or when I say fan base, I'm talking about a fan of music. You go in and, you got to have an open mind to begin with. That's how we all created ourselves, right, as far as our opinions and our growth, by seeing different types of people perform, different styles of music, different things like that. Like it not just falls on the artist, like it also falls on the consumer and the media market as well. Like we shouldn't play into that game that they're giving us, because we need to basically put out diversity, because we need that in this business.
Oh, 100%. 100%, but it's that's a really tough thing to do when everything that is being thrown at you, whether you're on Instagram or whether you're on Spotify, everything that's being pushed towards you seems to be the same thing, and it's so much easier just to go along with that. like it's so much easier not to fight the flow. Just swim with it. Like, why not? That's what they want you to do. But I've never really been that guy to really swim where everybody else is where the masses are trying to swim. I'm really kind of stubborn in that way. This is what I like, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do. And somehow or the other, I just have faith that I'm going to continue to be able to do what it is that I love to do, regardless of, someone telling me, no, that's the wrong decision. You really should be singing like this. You should be, doing this. No, man, I'm good. And so far, so good. This has been one of the best years to date. Like I have some momentum right now, and next year, I have plans for next year that are even bigger, a lot bigger. I'm about to bite off a real big chunk of yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Super proud of you, man. Hey, Sean Jones is my guest. Brand After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy Radio. Also, you can check out everything that is Sean Jones at SeanJones.tv. And also my Sean Jones, literally everywhere, people. I definitely need everyone. Sean Jones Music on Twitter. We're going to play Smoke, which is available on Spotify. People can go check it out right now. And when I come back, I want to talk about this track, and I want to talk about what you have plans for as far as projects in play right now, and continued, possible tours. Brother trying to get you out here in California, man. So we got to make that happen soon. So I'm going to let you introduce the world to Smoke, because it's the first time that we're playing it right here on Nexxlegacy Radio.
Oh, man. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, this tune is a tune I wrote with some great people out in Vancouver. Frank Juicer, Laurel Barker, Ian Prince, and Dave Corman. Wonderful writers, and it's just a great song about a woman who is extremely elusive. You can never grab her. That's why we call her Smoke. And that is the name of the tune, Smoke. I hope you enjoy.
Smoke got in my eyes, I could see it rising in the distance. Signals burning high, sirens screaming loud, I should have listened. She's got a way of seeping deep into your reason. She set your heart ablaze in flames you can't control. She could take your life, leave you looking back and no wishing. Never should have tried to touch something so dangerous. What a way, what a way, what a way to go. She set me on fire, now I'm just chasing smoke. Run away, run away, run away she goes. Ashes of desire, it's all I'll ever know. She had me believing, now I'm barely breathing. Run away, what a way to go. She set me on fire, now I'm just chasing smoke. I'm just chasing smoke. Baptism by fire, heaven brought me hell and now I'm desperate. Tripping on her wine, scalded by her spell, now I'm addicted. She likes to play around your heart while striking matches. She's got a way of taking burn to third degree. Situations die, bodies crashing down, it's got me thinking. Never should have tried to touch something so dangerous. What a way, what a way, what a way to go. She set me on fire, now I'm just chasing smoke. Oh, run away, run away, run away she goes. Ashes of desire, it's all I'll ever know. She had me believing, now I'm barely breathing. What a way, what a way, what a way to go. She set me on fire, now I'm just chasing smoke. I'm just chasing smoke. Can't break this fever, running out for love. Feel the heat, no God, I need her way too much. Feel the heat, can't break this fever, running out for love. Feel the heat, 'cause I need her. What a way, what a way, what a way to go. She set me on fire, now I'm just chasing smoke. Oh, run away, run away, run away she goes. Ashes of desire, it's all I'll ever know. She had me believing, now I'm barely breathing. What a way, what a way, what a way to go. She set me on fire, now I'm just chasing smoke. I'm just chasing smoke.
Hey, one of my new favorites from my man, Sean Jones. I am Brandon here. Brandon After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy.com. Also brought to you by SeanJones.tv is the place to go check out all things Sean Jones. Hit him up. Hit him up. Hey, man, hey, hats off first off. And the more I listen to your music, man, the more I need to find a way to get out to watch you perform, because it seemed like just from the music vibe, even on some of the ballads that you have, man, that, you know what, hey, it's going to get people on their feet, off their feet regardless, because just the music vibe that you give off, man, I need to come watch you perform, man, straight up. So I got to make that happen.
Dude, you are always welcome here in Toronto, my friend. You say the word, you let me know when you're coming down, and we'll put on a special show just for you. Just for you. I'll call the boys and get all the boys together. If we don't got a show, don't worry. We'll find a place and we'll just throw down just so that you can.
My man, that's what's up. So you gave the breakdown about Smoke, and it's available for people to check out. Hit up Spotify if you got it. Definitely, if you don't, go get it. And just hit up to the website, SeanJones.tv, and check it out. But I mean, hats off to this one. I mean, I think one of the first ones that I got from you, and I'm going to play it later after, we say goodbye is when I'm gone, because that right there just, set anybody in a place where it touched. And then Carousel is another one. So with this one out right now with Smoke, is there going to be a visual attached to this? What's give us a little bit of an insight on your marketing plan on this one, man, because Smoke is super dope. It's like super up-tempo, but then you listen to it, you're just like, wow, I can relate to that.
Yeah, we put Smoke out, and it was more, there's not really going to be a visual for that. We're planning on something a lot bigger for 2018.
Okay.
This is just kind of the teaser, almost. And I feel like even this year's Casa Loma, as successful as it was, is just a teaser for what's coming next year. I'm working on 2 different projects for next year. There will be 2 different albums coming out from Sean Jones, though one of them will not be titled under my name. It will be like the alter ego Sean Jones. So it'll have a different name, and I haven't figured out quite what that is yet. I've been in the studio, and I've been working on the music. So it's going to sound different from the stuff that you've been hearing, but it's going to be no less passionate. It's going to be with energy. I'm very, very excited about it. And then the other project is going to be something similar to what you've been kind of hearing from Sean Jones, that kind of retro Motown revival type soul. And I'm going to bring in the 8-piece band, and we are going to throw down live in the studio.
Wow.
A record that I'm very, very excited about. I've already got most of the songs written, to be honest with you, because I've been working on them for quite some time, and there are some killers in there, like some really just sweet songs that are going to take you back to a time, but it's going to sound modern, and it's going to sound nice. And I have a vision, man. I've got a vision, so I'm working on a couple of different things.
Nice. When you talk about alter ego, 2 different albums, 2 different styles of you, will these 2 projects not only be different in the pace that you're setting, but also has, one's going to be up-tempo, one's going to be ballad, or will it be a mix, or, do you kind of have that layout as far as how you're going to be able to present it?
Well, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. That's the music that I remember, man, most. I mean, of course, I love the classics, the Sam Cookes and the Otis Reddings and Al Greens and all these folks. But I grew up, man, in the 90s with the stupid groups, the Belle Biv DeVoes, but not even that, the New Editions and all these folks.
Right.
And I've had this, and I had a group of my own in the 90s as well called In Essence. And I'm kind of taking it back a little bit to that kind of time, to that kind of 90s almost type flavor where, that 90s kind of R&B, poppy kind of sound. That's some of the stuff that I'm hearing inside of my head. But it's cool, man. At least I think it's cool. And I hope everybody else will think it's cool once they hear it too.
You're an 80s, 90s guy, but do you see? I always struggle with this when I ask, because it's kind of like, I always felt like the 90s was probably like one of the best decades ever in terms of growth, because you were able to see even some of the older heads succeed. You were able to see some of the youngers the younger people succeed. You were able to see the groups, and there were a ton of groups back then succeed. You were able to see all those people win. The 80s, that decade was a decade of diversity because, I was a big fan of a lot of light rock, a lot of jazz, a lot of hip-hop, a lot of gospel. It was big on diversity. NWA came and kind of changed the landscape of hip-hop, with the more aggressive, style or whatnot. But it was because you were able to see women win as far as women in hip-hop and things like that, too. So the 80s was more on the diversity. And, and then, our, I guess you could say, forefathers in the 70s, 60s, 50s, and beyond, like, we were able to appreciate all what they did during those decades. So my question to you, Sean, is which decade was a better decade?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know what decade was the better decade. I say, I honestly, I don't know. I mean,
It's hard though, Sean, because for everything I just explained, because, like you, I'm an 80s, 90s kid, and, that molded and shaped a lot of what I became later on in life, and a lot of the music and what came out of the music, the memories, the soundtracks to certain movies, of this and that. I mean, I got a soft spot for my 80s decade based on what I said earlier about diversity, but 90s kind of changed my life in a lot of ways too, man. So that's why I've been struggling with that for a while, though. So that's why I wanted to ask you.
I don't, I don't know if I could just pick one because, like you said, they influenced me in like different ways. Like the 80s was exactly what you said, man. The diversity and just the like the movies, the iconic things that happened that just are in my brain from that decade. They've influenced me unbelievably. But yet the 90s, I think for me from a music perspective, because I finally, I think, latched on to things in the 90s from a musical perspective and an R&B and kind of hip-hop perspective. I don't know, I feel like that's not so much the better one, but the one that influenced me quite a bit musically. Just in terms, I don't know. That's such a tough question, bro. I'm struggling right now. Even what I'm saying, I'm like, but no, wait, but the 80s like really did it for me though. The 80s was really crazy because I'm remembering like Top Gun came out in the 80s. Did it not?
Exactly.
And it's like highway through the danger zone. I'm gonna take you right. Like Footloose. Oh my gosh.
And the fact that you're pulling from, to me, I think is like, a lot of, and it's debatable. People can always say one thing or another, but, for the fact that you're pulling 2 decades worth of everything that meant anything to a lot of us, to me, I think it's dope that you have a creative approach and a spin that you're going to be able to put towards it. So I'm looking forward to, what 2018 is going to have in store. But to close out this final year, as far as, just some of your songs, I mean, this was the first time we were able to air Carousel as well. I mean, I know that's been out for a little while, but, just let the listeners know. And I think for some of the younger people out here, Sean, that, I listen to you, and I've been listening to you for a while. I've been, definitely following your career and your path, and I'm proud of you. But I think a lot of young kids, for the simple fact that, some kids may be lost and they feel like, okay, in order for me to succeed, I have to do this because somebody else is telling you to do this. So for you, because I know you love what you do, tell these young kids and these people who just kind of like lost their way, just let them know exactly how much it means to the future of this business if you stay in your creative lane.
Oh, man. For anybody that's listening out there, it is extremely important that you stay in your creative lane. If you take a gentleman like by the name of Prince, who's no longer with us, but was one of the greatest musicians, just absolute genius. That guy was told that he would never amount to anything, that he was, he didn't have it, blah, 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 blah. Labels had turned him down, blah, 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 blah. He made a mark for himself in this world just by being persistent and knowing that he had something special. And I think as an artist, as a true artist, you got to look within and you got to understand that you do have something special. You do have a light, and your job is to share that with the world. It is. And if you're worried about, and if people start talking to you about audience and you're not going to get this, blah, 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 understand that there is somewhere in this world, there are people that will appreciate what it is that you are doing. Trust me on this one. If you are working hard and you are good at what you do, there is a place on this planet where people will appreciate what it is that you do. And right now, in this day and age, it has never been easier to reach out to different places on this planet and share your work with people. And as long as you keep on producing great work, and getting better and understanding that you will never stop learning and that you will always be evolving. And as long as you keep on churning out material that you feel represents you and that you feel is up to the level that you know that it needs to be, I can promise you that sooner or later, someone is going to come along and recognize that brilliance. And when that happens,
whether it's an audience of one,
exactly,
and or if it's an audience of 1,000, or if it's an audience of 1 million, if your same passion is still held near and dear to everybody, then you know what? That means that you really don't give a damn what everybody else says. You're going to perform regardless. And, what better testimony than what you just gave to start the show? You started off your run with 200, and it swelled just based on a lot of word of mouth and the fact that, hey, you know what? It's Sean Jones and his 8-piece band. They're great. Let's go tell somebody else. And that's how you start spreading things like wildfire, and you can minimize or give other, all in all, and I think you would probably agree with me, Sean, when I say this, that, we live in a world where we're supposed to have options. We need options in our life right now. We need it in music and in entertainment more so than ever, based on what we experienced a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades ago, right? So we need that more than ever now.
Yes, 100%. We need independent thinkers. We need the people that are not going to just follow along with the crowd just because. Do not be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be different. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all different. Celebrate that diversity, and share it. Share it. Do not be afraid to share it. That is like one of the biggest problems these days, is that people are afraid to share their diversity and share who they truly are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The world needs it. The world needs it more than you could ever imagine. If you are an artist, please do not shrink into a shell. Do not stick your head like a tortoise back into your shell and just and don't do that. Just don't. Share it, man. Share it.
Amen.
Let your heart
Amen
out.
to that. Music Reverend Sean Jones is our guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy Radio. Hit on my man, SeanJones.tv is the website. My Sean Jones on social media, Sean Jones Music on Twitter. And a couple of quick ones before we let you go. As far as every people can go ahead and check out Smoke, go grab it, go get it, go support it, go hit up Spotify and make sure you go ahead and support that. Anything else to end 2017, because I know you have everybody's going to look forward to 2018, but is there anything new that's coming out in the horizon of 2017? Or are you going to let all these current singles and music performances kind of find its way through for the rest of the year?
I've got a bunch of like corporate stuff that always comes around. But I'm in the studio. Like for the next couple months, it's about studio. It's about planning for next year because we are going to start releasing stuff in January. And then, at that point, it's really just all about getting ready for next year. And we will be touring next year. I'm not sure. We haven't exactly figured out that plan yet, whether it will just be Canada or whether we're going to dip into possibly the UK, possibly Germany, possibly Japan, and, of course, the United States of America, because we would love to come there.
There you go.
So we're working on those type of plans. But there is something very, very, even bigger than all the music that I've put out. When I mean all of the music that I've ever put out, there's something even bigger that is coming along. On October 25th or before, I will welcome a daughter into my life. She will be born, and I am extremely, extremely excited about that. So yeah, that will be my greatest project ever.
Congratulations! I might need to because there's a good chance you might be up late nights anyway. So I might have you call back in on your late night. Your late night. To trust me, as a father of a daughter, my daughter's about to turn 15 on October 1st. So as a father of a daughter, I kind of already know, like, you're going to have some late nights. So I think I might give you a ring and, just live right at Sean Jones' house. We're going to find out how's Daddy Live treating you right now. So, we're going to do that live. Live and direct. We're going to do that.
I welcome that. Please let's set that up because I know my life is about to turn, but I also know that the kind of inspiration that is about to come my way is going to be unbelievable. So I can't wait. I cannot wait.
From a dad to a brand new dad, let me tell you that I know sons and fathers are the best. I'm blessed to have a daughter. I don't have a son, but I know fathers and daughters, biggest and best bond ever, man. So trust me when I tell you, it's you will always remember the moments, and you will always be able to cherish every single second of every single moment that you look into her eyes. So, man, embrace it. Congratulations. I know I'm going to be able to talk to you prior to, but just keep me posted. But one quick one before I let you go. Since you brought up Top Gun, I want to ask you, give me your, top 3. You can go top 3 to 5 80 soundtrack movies in 90s as well. So, I know you probably got to, think about it for a quick second, but I'll give you a moment to think about the top soundtracks that come to mind from the 80s and from the 90s.
Oh, man. Top 80 soundtracks. Well, I mean, obviously, Top Gun, I know I blazed that one a lot. I know I did. Footloose, for sure. Like, those two tunes, just those two records, for sure. What else was I watching? Oh, my goodness. When did Dirty Dancing come out? Dirty Dancing was a pretty heavy. I don't know if I ever bought that soundtrack, though, but it had a lot of two. Oh, it did, because it had, do you love me? Do you love me? Oh, yeah, it had all of those on there, man. It had the Otis Redding Love Man. Oh, yeah. Rinse that, for sure.
That was in the late 80s when that came out. That was definitely one of the favorites, though.
Yep. Flashdance. Oh, man.
Flashdance, too. Look at you, man. Look at you. Like, I asked for a couple, and now you got, like, a whole bunch of them. See, I love it, though, because you start peeling back the layers of how much of an impact these soundtracks meant, not just to the movie, but to the actual, like, artists like yourself, man. Like, you can't beat these, like, classic 1980s soundtracks, man. These are dope.
No, man, you definitely can't. I'm just thinking back, man, even like Phil Collins' records. Oh, man, just like, Levert.
And
I remember Levert.
Fame stretched itself out there for a little while too, though. Like Fame was
Yes.
a little bit already. Literally, barely made it in the '80s too, though. Like Fame was around, bro. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? I can tell you though, the first tune that like R&B wise, because I used to live in Saudi Arabia, and my sister was here in Canada, and she would send me stuff back. And the first song, she came back for like a summer vacation, and she played for me Levert, and it was every man deserves a good woman, and I want you to be my wife. Time is so much better spent, my baby, with a woman just like you in my life. So let me hold you, your sweet loving baby. Casanova. Wow.
Yep.
That was
Casanova was classic.
First,
it was classic.
That was one of the first R&B like real tunes. Like I had heard Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson was R&B, but he was pop. But Levert was like full just R&B, classic soul type stuff, and I was just, oh man, loved it. Fell in love.
Got that right.
Fell in love with
it.
Yeah,
so you pull some favorites. You can always throw in like any of the Beverly Hills Cop movies. You could throw in
Beverly Hills Cop,
Ghostbusters too. You could take those and run with it too. So. But the 90s had a lot of good ones too, man. I think a lot of what happened in the 80s ushered into the 90s, and it kind of, after the 90s, man, you may have, but then that's when it started going away, man. You didn't really see or hear too much collaborations between a lot of movies, and they were around, but they weren't prominent as it once was, which is kind of weird. But see,
man.
We're right there, man. Trips down memory lane is always a good look, man.
It's
always a good look.
Back some memories. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm smiling.
It's always good. There you go, man. I wanna wish you the best. I definitely want to talk to you prior to your daughter being born, but I just want to tell you, man. Once again, I'm proud of you. The station is your home, and like the goal to get you out here, and not just in California, but in the States, to let the States know how you get down. Because I told you, every song that I've heard, I could just visualize like a performance that's just like super dope. So I'm looking forward to getting you down here in California and beyond, and I'm looking forward to seeing you perform, and I'm looking forward to watch you go through fatherhood and just see you continue to succeed, man. And I'm proud of you, man. So just stay on course and just continue to elevate, man. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, dude, your support means the world, man, and those words. I will not let you down, bro. I am fighting hard, and I will not stop, because I can't. I don't know how. I really, really don't. I'm just gonna keep on making music, and I will find my audience. I will, and but it also, it takes someone to champion that sound, and I really appreciate you doing that. You've taken the time and you've listened, and your listeners, thank you for tuning into this, because it's so important. It's so important to champion artists when you hear them, and promote them and push and tell your friends, tell everybody.
Oh yeah.
Because we need it.
Tell your friend, your best friend, your friend you haven't talked to in 20 years. That might be a great conversation starter. Like, hey, I know we haven't talked in like 20 years, but you got to listen to Sean Jones right now. Like, go to SeanJones.tv, and then, don't let it be another 20 years before we stop talking. Let's continue the conversation. But, yeah, you can do that. That's easy.
Yeah, man. No, dude, I really do appreciate the support, man. I really do.
Oh, man, 110%, man. We're going to continue this station. We'll continue to support. Man, blessings to you. Stay connected. Let me know how things are going. And just, like I said, I'm always here, not just as a colleague in this business, but also as your homeboy to show, like I said, show me around when I get up to Canada, man. So, definitely. And I'll do the same thing in California for sure.
Love it. I'll let you know when I'm coming out, bro.
All All right. That's what's up. I appreciate you, big man. Hey, blessed to see you, man. Stay on that path. I'm proud of you.
All right, dude. Thanks a lot.
All right. That is Sean Jones. Make sure you go ahead and check him out. SeanJones.tv is his website. Sean Jones Music, Twitter. Let me make sure I get this right. My Sean Jones on the Facebook. I got to make sure I get it all right. Hey, just go to SeanJones.tv and you'll have all the stuff there. Got another track from my man when I'm gone right here on Brighter After Dark. Appreciate it.
Nexxlegacy.